All right, are the parties ready on Dylan Jacob Skinner?
Before the judge even calls this case to order, understand what kind of courtroom moment you're about to witness. This is not a trial. This is sentencing, the point where excuses stop and consequences begin. The defendant, Dylan Jacob Skinner, has already entered a no-contest plea, meaning the court has sufficient evidence to find him guilty without a full trial. What's left now is judgment, and this case is heavy. It involves family violence, a deadly weapon finding, alcohol, financial instability, and a crime committed not against a stranger, but within the family. Watch closely how the judge listens, how remorse is presented, and how the legal system balances accountability with rehabilitation. Because in a few minutes, this courtroom will shift from explanation to impact. And when the victim speaks, everything changes. Stay with this, because this is one of those hearings where every word matters.
Impact, is that correct? All right. So you entered a plea previously on February 18th of no contest. The court found that there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court found you guilty. Are parties ready to proceed with sentencing?
Yes, sir.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client with regards to sentencing?
I would state that Mr.
This is a critical phase of the hearing. The defense emphasizes remorse, and the court allows the defendant to testify under oath, not to argue guilt, but to explain behavior. Judges often use this moment to evaluate sincerity, accountability, and future risk. Notice what's being said here: alcohol use, unemployment, recent incarceration, financial pressure. These are explanations, but legally, they are not defenses. The judge's questions are direct for a reason. Court want to know whether the defendant understands why this happened and whether it can be prevented from happening again. When the defendant says there was a monster inside, that raises a serious concern, not just emotionally, but legally. Because if violence is framed as uncontrollable, the court must prioritize safety over sympathy. So ask yourself, does remorse alone justify leniency? Or does responsibility require real consequences?
And I love my mom. I never wanted to do that. I apologize.
All right. Anything else, defense?
Nothing.
Anything from the state? All right, so I have a question. So why did you do this? Because part of you're not being back in this situation again is figuring out why you did it.
No work, just I really honestly feel like there was just a monster inside of me. You know, I was drunk too. And all the pent up anger, because I'm really not a violent person.
All right, what were you angry about?
Just not having a job, struggling, living with my mom, 25 years old, you know, just getting out of jail a month prior, struggling too, on top of that, you know, just really just financial struggles. I feel like there's a little bit more that I can't really touch on with words, but the fact that I did that for something that small, I feel like I deserve to do some time.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the fact that you've had a chance to think about what you've done. I don't know why it is usually the people who try to help us are the people that we end up hurting the most, right? So you should have been looking at the idea that your mom, even though you're 25 years old, your mom is giving you a place to stay.
That's the thing. I was in that for 5 months, 6 months in Bear County, just thinking, wow, I really took all that for granted. Just for 3 to 5 minutes, I messed up my whole relationship with my family over something small and selfish. Very selfish.
All right.
So I apologize to the court and I apologize to my mother. And I love her.
Okay. All right. Anything else before the court entered sentence?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court is going to find you guilty, sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, There's to be no contact with Dusty, Dusty Skinner.
This is where the law becomes permanent. The sentence is 4 years in prison, but listen carefully to what else is included. An affirmative finding of family violence and an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon are not just labels. They carry lifelong consequences. Firearm and ammunition possession are permanently prohibited. Employment opportunities shrink. Future legal scrutiny increases. The no-contact order isn't temporary. It's a legal barrier meant to protect the victim. The court also imposes fines, concurrent financial penalties, and recommends therapeutic programming, though even that is outside the judge's control once the defendant enters prison. This isn't just punishment, it's containment and prevention. So here's the question. When family violence reaches this level, is rehabilitation enough, or does protection have to come first?
Sign it,
Yeah.
Mr. Skinner.
Yes, ma'am, I signed it.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement,
Right.
because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All
I
right,
do
we,
have a question.
yes,
You said I do not have permission to be in contact with her.
no.
Is that forever?
You'll have to speak to your attorney in regards to that. And what I will tell you, the no contact was a part of your agreement with the state.
Of course.
At some point in time, maybe your mom will want to have contact with you. If she does, and you all can work on your relationship through that, then we'll see. Okay?
Okay.
All right, any other questions? All right, we can go off the record. With regards to the therapeutic community, I have no jurisdiction over that, over the prison. I can't force them to put you in that program, but it'll be in the judgment that I want you to be considered for the therapeutic community. You'll have to ask for it as well. You understand? All right. And here's my other advice. I have no problem with tattoos,
You
but
just
no
said
more
no
face tattoos, okay? Because people will see you, they see the face tattoos and they
You'd
think
be
some sort of way.
distracted too, probably.
Yes. All right. All right. So my understanding, there's a victim impact. All right.
Mr. Skinner, over here, put your back against the counter.
I really don't know. I have an option to pay in a heartbeat. I have a different to say to you. That bridge is destroyed. Give you life and you tried to take mine, and I will never be able to have the question of why I answered. You're so selfish. Your dad read me letters that you written to him, and you never once asked about me if I was okay after what you did. You said that you love everyone, but you tried to leave your brother and your sister without me. After you did this to me, I found out that I'm not the only one who hurt, and it makes it a little less difficult to say that I will never forgive you for the things you've done. And you destroyed your relationship with your entire family, and I hope that weight sinks in as I read this. The physical wounds that I have from what you did, the broken eye socket that required surgery, and the damage you did to my ear that took 2 procedures to fix, the severe concussion that affects my memory, and the chronic pain that I have in my neck now, that's healing, but the emotional damage is gonna take a long time, and not just for me. Despite everything, my heart aches because I am your mom, and I struggle. I hope one day you understand the gravity of what you've done. In your heart, and not just in the words that you so easily say all the time to make everything right. I hope whatever path you take, I can take it to someone other than a monster out that you have. Thank you. Yes. Deputy Laura, he can go back. Thank you. You're welcome.
This case ends with accountability, not closure. The court followed the plea agreement, imposed a 4-year prison sentence, affirmed findings of family violence and deadly weapon use, and enforced lifelong legal restrictions. But the most powerful moment wasn't legal. It was human. The victim impact statement revealed lasting physical injury, emotional trauma, and a family permanently changed. This is the reality of violence inside the home. Apologies don't erase damage, and remorse doesn't undo harm. The judge balanced compassion with responsibility and made it clear that safety and truth matter most. Back-end index pointing right, if you found this case as intense and thought-provoking as we did, hit that like button, share your thoughts respectfully in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns and legal reality checks.